or when you're doubting yourself. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Rosa. When you're still having a hard time and you're still doubting yourself, when someone comes along and says you can't do that, it hits a lot different than when you've already made a decision that you can. When you've already made the decision that even if you're scared, even if you don't know how, I'm gonna do this, someone's disbelief in you hits a lot different because you're like, oh, okay, that's fine that you think that, but I've already made the decision within myself that no matter what trials and tribulations come my way, I've already made a decision that I'm going to do it. Versus, I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I can do this. I'm still on the fence. Then when someone comes along and says, oh my God, this is going to be so hard and this is going to be crazy. You're going to put your innermost thoughts into a book and put it out into the world. And you're just like, yeah, what? But if I wasn't in this space of wanting to do it, yeah, of course, it's going to be like, ooh, that is going to be really scary. Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to keep playing on these fears. And these fears are keeping me safe, right? Because these fears are keeping me from really doing the thing that I actually want to do because I'm so scared of the outcome. So a way for me to control the outcome is by not doing it at all. You know what I'm saying? The way that I can control not being abandoned is to never be myself. Because there's a deep-rooted belief that there's something about me at my core that is not worthy of someone sticking around for. That there's only one side of me. There's only one version of me that is worthy of being loved. And if that's the story that you keep telling yourself, and maybe you're not consciously walking into a relationship saying, only one part of me is worthy of being loved, so I'm going to keep... No, but when you hide, when you wear a mask, that is what you're saying without saying it. And this is where I say all the time that your behaviors speak for themselves, babe. Your behaviors say what you feel about yourself, what you tolerate in relationships, the jobs that you stay in, the things that you don't like that you continue to tolerate, that speaks for itself. There's a difference in, I have this job right now because I need to put food on the table, but I got a plan and here's where I'm going to be in 6 months, okay? There's a difference in, this is what I'm doing right now, or there's a difference when I'm in this relationship right now because I've realized that I put myself in a hole and financially I'm trying to figure this out. I already know that this is not for me, so I'm working on saving my money, doing what I need to do to get out of this situation versus I don't think that I'm worthy of anything better. So I'm not even looking for any type of action plan. I'm not even looking for anything else. I'm just trying to find a way to make this situation a little bit more enjoyable. You know? I'm just trying to make this job a little less taxing. Instead of saying, you know what? No, I've surrendered to that this job is not for me. I've surrendered that this relationship is not for me. And even though it's really uncomfortable, the fact that I need to start figuring out this job situation, it's really uncomfortable. The fact that I'm in this house, I'm in this relationship with somebody, I'm living in this space with somebody that I know is not for me. And it's been really uncomfortable for me to finally admit that out loud, maybe. And so maybe this is why you've kept yourself in that state of denial that a lot of us find ourselves in before we're really ready to get uncomfortable with the truth. Plug. You know? And so this is the question. What's your uncomfortable truth? What is the uncomfortable truth that you have not wanted to say out loud? What is it? What is it? What's the uncomfortable truth that you have not wanted to acknowledge within yourself that is keeping you stuck? And where are you still projecting this onto someone else? Where is it still someone else's fault that you're not where you want to be, babe? Where? Where is it still someone else's fault that you're not where you want to be? Because this is where we got to look a little bit closer at ourselves. Because when we are putting our fate in someone else's hands, that is so disempowering. Because we can't control how someone else shows up, right? We've tried to do that and we see how that ends. We can't control how someone shows up. We can't control if someone's going to be consistent. We can't control how someone perceives us. We can't control how someone chooses to deal with us and respect. We can't control other people. We've tried that. All we can do is speak our truth, set the boundaries, and really teach people how we want to be treated, how we want to be loved, and then we can give people the opportunity to do that. And based on how people show up, then we can respond. Oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like based on how people respond is how we respond. You see? And that's where you are always in your power. Again, you have moments where you're sad. You have moments where you're angry. And I just don't want us to confuse the fact that we have feelings with being disempowered. Because I think a lot of us have been told that narrative growing up, that when we have certain feelings that it's disempowering. It's not disempowering to share your feelings. It's not disempowering to be mad. It's not disempowering to be angry. It feels disempowering when we can't control it, when we don't know how to control our emotions. It feels disempowering when we feel like we're a ticking time bomb and we go from 0 to 100 based on how someone else shows up. That's where it can feel very disempowering, when we haven't learned how to cope and process our emotions. But once we start to understand how we work, and we start to give ourselves more grace and compassion, and we start to give ourselves the space to start feeling our emotions, then it becomes a lot easier. It does. It becomes a lot easier. You start to speak your truth just naturally. You start to just set a boundary naturally. It's not this whole big ordeal forever, I promise. It feels that way because it's something new that you're doing right now. It's something new that you're practicing right now, and you just may happen to be at the age of 25. You may just so happen to be at the age of 37. You may so just happen to be at the age of 55, when you are just now learning these tools. And that is okay. It doesn't make you any less than. It doesn't make you behind or worse or better. There is no negative or positive. It's just opportunities to learn and understand yourself. We assign the negative and the positive as a way to understand the spectrum of feelings, but there is no negative and positive. We're just learning. We're just responding. We're just having a basic human emotion to whatever is happening around us. That's all. We've just been so conditioned to think that these parts of us are bad or wrong just because someone that was conditioning us thought that about themselves. And so, again, where are we projecting? Where are we projecting these things onto other people? And that's why I like to use these examples of people that come in, like the person who said, your book and this and that. That is a projection of something that is going on within that person. So if I know that, based on it being true within myself, based on being able to look at myself and say, wait, those times where I was just being mean, or those times where I was just being angry at people, where was that coming from? And when I can sit and be honest and say, oh, wait, I was projecting something that was deeper that I wasn't really looking at. I was projecting that. Then I can see that same thing in other people and give that person grace. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to meet that person at that low frequency and just try to hurt them, because I already am aware that there's already some pain there. There's already some hurt there. So I don't need to add to it. I don't need to add to it. But I like to use those examples to actually teach out loud, because I can just very honestly just ignore it as well, right? We can just ignore it, pretend that we don't see it, or we can use it as opportunities to learn and to understand and to show how we can deal with things in a different way. That we don't always have to get so offended when someone says something that's offensive, right? Isn't that really empowering? I don't have to get offended just because you say something that is objectively offensive. I think that's super empowering. Just my opinion, though. But yeah. So you guys, I wrote a book, and it came out on 10/10, which was the same day that the hurricane hit my hometown. So it has been quite a week. It's been quite a month, to be honest. Um, my dad went into the hospital and had to have like open heart surgery, and then the hurricane, 2 hurricanes. But here we are. I just said it today. I set a deadline for myself. Uh, I really put a lot of work into this, and even though towards the end it became pretty challenging, just tiring, we still got it done, and I'm really really proud of myself. And I was like, no matter what happens, no matter what the sales happen, no matter what is happening, I'm successful because this is something that I've wanted to do forever. And I don't think it's really like sat in with me that I'm a published author. Thank you, Tracy. I don't think that it's really sat in, that it's out and people can get this. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's weird a little bit still. Like, I really got tired of my own BS. I really got tired of hearing myself talk. I really got tired of hearing myself say what I'm going to do. And I had to get really honest with myself that I would just tell myself, I would tell people, oh yeah, I'm writing a book right now. Even though I was going months and months and months and months and months and not even touching the book. I didn't even feel connected to it. I didn't even feel like I had a vision. I would tell people, yes, I'm working on my book because I liked how it sounded. It made me feel like I was doing something important. You know, it made me feel like, oh yeah, don't worry. Like it was like my own projection. Don't worry. I know I'm just sitting in the house, you know, kind of scrolling on social media a lot, watching my savings go down, but I'm writing a book. Even though you don't really know all these things, I know these things. And it's getting to the point where it's like, wait, am I really writing the book or does it just sound good? What's going on here? But it took me really getting super uncomfortable financially, getting super uncomfortable just in my life. And like, what am I doing for me to finally sit down and say, okay, it's me. It's me. I keep trying to pin it on everything else and all these other circumstances, but there's no reason. There's really no reason why I haven't been able to sit down and just do this other than like really understanding my ADHD and how much it really does impact you. Thank you guys. Thank you for the love. But let me come up with a system. Let me come up with some type of system or something to get this done because ADHD is definitely not going to stop me, and we're going to figure this out. And we did. And not only did I write a book, but then a journal came up, and it just flowed really easily too. And it really did flow, you guys. Once I really got out of my own way and said, you know what, I need to pull my energy back from everybody else. I've been everyone else's hype man. I've been everyone else's cheerleader. I've been everyone else's everything, you know, because I believe in everyone. Hi, Summer. Thank you. Hi, Allie. I really believe in people, right? But now it's time for me to believe in myself. And so I want you to know that you're not selfish for pulling back that energy. If you have coined yourself as being the person that hypes everybody else, the person that speaks life into everybody, if you get so much joy and just energy from speaking life into other people, I'm telling you, the amount of joy and pride and happiness that you're going to feel when you speak life into yourself and then actually follow through with the advice, I'm telling you, babe, it feels really, really good. And then you still have more capacity. You realize you still have more capacity to help other people once you help yourself. Once you really step in and you help yourself and you get yourself to a place where you're starting to feel some type of stability and you really believe in yourself and you pour in and you say, look what I can do. Now I feel like I actually have the space to create and do other things. Shelly, you already know. Shelly, that's on my list. That's coming up next, okay? You already took it out, all right? Allie, thank you. It's so good to see you. Or not see you, but like feel your energy right now. So yeah, wrote a book and a journal. I'm really, really proud of myself. It still hasn't sunken in. Like I said, I have been so much helping my dad and being by his bedside the last month and then preparing for this hurricane and calling friends and are you okay? And so this last week that I haven't had power, I've really just been going to sleep a lot. To be honest, like I was like, I don't even have the energy to get upset about the launch and all the things. Like I've been focusing on my dad and I've been so worried about him and then worried about my home and my community and my family. That like when 10/10 came around and I was recognizing what was happening, the delay, my books, I still haven't got my author copies in. I still haven't got my journals. I haven't gotten anything delivered. But obviously, right? Like it's a hurricane. So it was just like when it came to the point of 1010, I'm like, I could literally be so upset and I can just sulk and I can just let it burn me up like it has in the past when things have not worked out. Like it has burned me up. I realize that I get really dysregulated. I used to get really dysregulated when certain things just don't go my way. And I'm like, it's, come on, I've been working and oh, the day of the stuff, it has to be this. But when it came to this and I saw how everything was unfolding, I literally did not have the energy. I was so tired, like from getting this launch, from doing the book, simultaneously going back and forth from the hospital, you guys. I was writing this book in the hospital, like editing this book from the bedside in ICU. So it's just like, okay, I'm tired. Like, that's a lot. I'm editing and my dad is over here on life support. And I'm over here like, I love you, Dad, and I'm here. Let me just sit with you. And then, but I'm really proud of myself, and I really want to not let myself down, even though this could be literally a whole reason between the hurricane and my dad being on life support. I'm pretty sure that could be a reason even for like these big corporations to be like, hey, we're going to have to move the deadline. You know what I'm saying? Even big corporations at this point would be like, all right, yeah, we had this deadline. But there was just something where I'm like, no, I've come so far and there's only so much I can do with my dad. There's only so much I can do with this hurricane. Like, finish it. Finish it up. Finish it up. And you may have a few typos and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may have a few typos and that's okay. You know what? You did it. You set something for yourself. You made a promise to yourself. And damn, when they say rain, hail, shine, sleet, what's the term that they said? Rain, snow, heal. I don't even know what they say. Okay? But literally, a hurricane, dad being on life support and doing this all pretty much by myself was not going to stop me. It didn't stop me. The book is out. All right? Rain, shine, whatever, it's going to happen. Okay? And it literally was a hurricane, dad fighting for his life. I was just like, yo, I think I really do have an excuse to not get this out on 1010. Because it was getting to the point where I'm just like, I'm tired. Okay? Like, I'm doing the book. What else you want me to do? All right. Now it's more stuff. I feel like, come on, Spirit. Well, I don't know what else you want me to do. And Spirit was like, nothing. You just were in alignment. You got this out. And the other day I was sitting on the porch and I was like starting to feel a little bit because I was like, man, there really is so much marketing and stuff that you still have to do, right? I still got to really market. And it's just been tiring. You guys know I've taken a little break from making the content. I was on my content every day and I was on it and I was on it. And I was like, yo, Kristen, you got to rest. This is tiring. You have a hurricane. You got to rest. It's okay. And yeah, I was sitting there and I'm like, I should be doing this. I was like, no, you should be resting. The rest of the year is going to be you promoting this stuff and promoting your book. This is not going anywhere. It's okay if it's not right now in this moment. Let go. And I did. And it made me feel a lot better. I was like, I'm going to get to it when I'm charged and I'm ready. I'm going to get to it. And also acknowledging, wow, I really have been through a lot of stuff. I know that I'm so resilient and I'm so used to dissociating and just pushing through. But wait, let me also just sit and take some rest. That I literally have been going back and forth to the hospital every day, helping my dad, seeing him fight for his life. That impacts you as a child, okay? The hurricane, not knowing from one day to the next if your house is going to be there and that is something that's impacting you. Yeah, it's okay to be human. And so yeah, just all these things are coming in and it's just, we have to honor these things within ourselves. And I think we can get so caught up. Yeah, I think that we get so caught up from just pushing through that when now we're on this awakening journey and you realize, oh wait, it's not I'm not supposed to push through all the time. I'm supposed to feel the feelings and it's normal for me to be exhausted after all this stuff. And it's normal for me to not feel super excited right now, even though your girl just wrote a book and launched a book and I'm a published author. Given the circumstances and how everything has transpired, it's been hard as well. I'm excited, but I'm also sad. I'm proud of myself, but I'm also exhausted. I am happy, but I also still have fear around, my father. But I think the true journey is recognizing that all of these things can be existent within ourselves at one time. That we don't have to just be happy or sad. We can be all these things at once. And your grief and what you're going through doesn't have to make sense to other people. And maybe other people think that you would be doing it this way, or other people think that you'd be handling it that way. But the only person that knows you best and knows how you need to and want to show up is you. So, yeah, I have learned a lot in this last month of launching this book. My dad getting sick, the hurricane. I really have been so calm to a point where it's like scared me a little bit, where I'm like, is everything okay with me? Like, am I supposed to be more sad with my stuff with my dad? Am I supposed to be more stressed with the hurricane? How come I'm just like this? Maybe it's just because I'm so burnt out. I don't have the energy to be like everyone, oh my God, do you have the stuff? Do you have stuff? I'm like, I'm going to prepare as much as I can. I'm going to see my dad as much as I can and love on him as much as I can. I'm going to do my best to edit this book as much as I can. By myself being where I'm at, I'm going to like try, because there were certain points where I was literally, you guys, I was editing the book and I was like on my couch based on everything that was going on. I would get home from the hospital at like 8 p.m. after all the doctors are telling you, okay, we did this heart-saving surgery and we got him on dialysis, and then we're gonna drain his lungs because he has pneumonia, and then this, and you're just taking it in. Okay, mm-hmm. When you're at the hospital, you're just like this. Okay, yep. And you're looking at your dad. Oh, everything's gonna be, oh yeah, okay, everything's great. Okay. And then you're just like on autopilot. Then you go home from that and you're like, okay, but I still have this huge project that I put so much time and energy. I don't want to give up now. Okay, so now let me get home after all that stuff. I don't have time to do anything. All right, let me go through each page. Okay. Oh, wow. Let me go through each page. Okay, period. Make sure, okay. Let me go through. And then you do that, and then before you know it, it's been like 2 or 3 hours of that. And then finally, now it's time to take a shower. So, yeah. Maybe you get some tears out in the shower. You know? What I'm saying in this whole long roundabout way is that you're going to have to feel it at some point. Whether you're doing it now, whether you're being super strong or resilient, whether you are in that go mode where you're trying to just get yourself to that safety so you don't have time to be crying, whether you're trying to be strong for somebody else, whatever it is, this stuff is happening to you too. It's happening to you too. And at some point you are going to have to acknowledge these things. And I think that is the whole point of the spiritual awakening, is that we're learning how to cope in healthier ways. We're learning how to cope in healthier ways. And we're learning how to also acknowledge when we may be falling back into old patterns of maladaptive ways of coping. You start to recognize, oh wait, I may be doing something again that I haven't been doing that much, and I'm starting to do it a lot. And then you come back to that present moment and you say, wait, is this how I want to continue showing up in stressful situations? Do I want to try to escape the stress, or do I want to manage it in a more healthy way, noticing that these things are not going away? They're still very real. My dad is still in the hospital. The hurricane was still coming. But how can I prepare myself? What can I do? And so for me, spending as much time and making my dad the priority is what felt the best for me, handling the stress with what would come. Let me spend as much time. Let me go and see him. Let me have beautiful conversations. Let's not root in our pain and trauma all the time when we're with dad, but let's talk about some beautiful memories and recreate some narratives that we've had with dad for a long time. That's what I chose to do. Because what more do I need to talk about? What more do I need to talk about when it comes to my dad? What more do I need to hold him accountable for? Right now, I just want to acknowledge how I really feel, and how I really feel is that I love him so much. And it feels like an honor to be able to show up for him at this chapter in his life where he needs his family the most, even though he's having a hard time receiving it. It feels really good to be that mothering energy for my dad in a way that, like, he never got it from my grandma. To step in and say, hey, grandma, I got it from here. Hey, grandma, I'm going to step in and I'm going to be this for your son. Even though he's hurt me, and even though it was few far in between times that he could be like this for me, that doesn't matter anymore. I've made peace with that part of myself. I've made peace with my inner child. And the fact that I have the capacity to show up for this man, despite the ways that he wasn't able to show up for me, the fact that I have the capacity, who would I be if I were to withhold my love because he wasn't able to do something that I wanted him to do? What would make me any different from the parts of him that I am struggling with? So the way that I am healing these parts of me is being that father and being that mother that he needed to him. And I know that it could seem like, wait, how is that healing? Because doesn't it seem like you're being there for your abuser, essentially? And I guess in a way you could say that, but I am no longer being abused. I have survived. I'm no longer that disempowered little child. I'm doing this because I want to, because I feel like it's the right thing to do, because I love this person. And it's not a weakness of mine that I can still have the capacity to love somebody even though they've hurt me so much. I think that it's a superpower of mine that I'm still able to love someone so deeply even though they've hurt me so deeply. I think that's awesome about what kind of heart that I have. And I think that this ability and my willingness to show up for my dad and not feeling forced, because I don't have to get in my car. There's not my mom, my sister. No one is making me get in the car and drive 90 minutes to see my dad. I'm doing that because I want to. And when I've seen myself show up this way authentically, like this is my natural one, when I'm not trying to wear a mask of anger, when I'm not trying to wear a mask of resentment, when I'm not trying to prove a point or make him learn when I'm not trying to do any of that, I'm just showing up like this and I'm like, wow, is this who I am when I'm not scared? This is the person that I am when I'm not feeling like I have to protect myself. This is who I am when I can show up in my natural expression. I love this person. And then it's trickled over into all these other aspects of my life, because I'm like, wow, if I can show up with this much compassion for my father, then I can show up like this for my ex. And I can show up like this for that best friend that I don't talk to no more. And I can show up like this for my mom. And so now, instead of looking for ways to be resentful and cut people off and take away my love, because I know how taking away my love can impact people, now I'm looking for ways to extend. Isn't that crazy? Now, instead of looking for ways on how I can cut people off and how I can make people pay, now I'm looking for ways that I can extend more love and compassion. I'm looking for ways that I can see the person for who they really are, not for how they're showing up in this moment, not for their projections, not for their judgments. And I can say, wow, this person is hurting right now in this moment. How can I extend more love and compassion? Hey, well, I see that you're hurting. So maybe just being seen is something that you need. So let me just acknowledge that I see you. Maybe that's all someone needs, is just to acknowledge, hey, they're in pain, because they feel like their pain doesn't matter. So how do you love a person that hurt you? By loving yourself, because you have to acknowledge that you have hurt you at some point in your life. Okay? You have hurt you at some point in your life. You have been the reason for your suffering. You have been the reason for your tears. You have been the reason for your heartache. So if you can find it in yourself, and you can find it in your heart to forgive yourself, if you can find yourself, you can find yourself able to love yourself even when you've hurt yourself, even when you've hurt other people, that is how you're able to that is how you're able to love people who have hurt you, by being able to love yourself, by recognizing that that you deserve the same compassion and forgiveness that you're finding it hard to extend to that person who hurt you. And when you can find the same love and compassion and forgiveness, and you can hold yourself accountable and say, you know what? I haven't been the best friend to people my whole life. I haven't been the best daughter. I haven't been the best partner. Haven't been the best partner. But I'm still worthy of love. I'm still worthy of a healthy partner now, even though I wasn't a healthy partner then. That is when you can start to say, well, if I'm deserving of that, why isn't my father deserving of that? If I'm deserving of that, why isn't this person deserving of that? And the answer is that that we all are. We all are. But you cannot extend what you don't give to yourself. It's very hard for you to extend that love that you don't give to yourself. So yes, how do you love a person that hurt you? By looking in the mirror and saying, where have I allowed this person to hurt me? Where have I tolerated this hurt? Ooh, that stings, but I still am worthy of love anyway. I'm still worthy of love anyway, even though I tolerated these things, even though I thought that this was all I deserved, even though I thought that this is what I was worthy of. Ooh, that really pains me, but I love that version of me. That version of me was doing what she thought she needed to do to be safe. That's what she was doing. And now I know better, and now I can handle things in a healthier way. How do you keep them from hurting you again? You can't guarantee that someone can't hurt you again, but you can set the boundaries in place, and you can make a decision if it's worth the risk. Is it worth the risk of having someone be in your life that you know this is where they're at? Like, I know that this is where my dad is at. So based on what I know about my father, I know that my father cannot have conversations where it comes to him holding himself accountable. I know that as soon as I start to have a conversation and say, hey, well, Dad, let's talk about what you did. I know that that's where the connection is going to be disconnected and severed. And that is where I'm going to lose him, right? And one would think, well, that's not fair. You should not have a conversation, or you should not have a relationship with someone where you can't be yourself. That's not fair. You should not have a relationship with someone who can't hold themselves accountable. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. This is why I've gone several years in my life being estranged from this person. This is why I've gone several years of my life going no contact. I have done the things that I've needed to do until I've gotten to a place of peace within myself. So now when my dad has these conversations, or if we get to a point where he's feeling triggered, I can just say, okay, Dad, I hear you. I understand you. I will talk to you a little bit later. I'll let you go. I'm not against you. I am on the same team. I can get to the point where I can have these conversations and it doesn't hurt me. I literally can see him for who he is. So therefore his behavior does not impact me the same way, because I'm no longer taking his behavior personal. I'm seeing that his behavior is a reflection of the work that he has not done within himself. And when you can really root in that, nothing that they say can hurt you, because you know that it's coming from a place of pain within self. And when you truly can believe that, yes, it can get overwhelming sometimes, for sure. And so that's where I'm like, okay, when I went to go see him at the hospital, he started getting really rowdy because I wasn't going to get him out. Now he's angry at me because I'm not getting him out. Why are you not getting me out of the hospital? Not recognizing that if I got you out, I don't even know if we would make it on the 90-minute drive home, because you need these things. But in his mind, he doesn't. And so I'm not going to argue with the fact that he doesn't, but I also know what I'm not going to do. And so when it got closer to me leaving, that's when I could start feeling that tantrum start to come up. The same way that you would with a child that doesn't want their mom to leave them at daycare or something like that. So I can put it in that same perspective. My dad doesn't want me to leave because he's having a hard time coping. Me being here calmed him down. It was a familiar face. It made him feel less alone. But he doesn't have the ability to say that. But I know this. And so I knew that when it was getting time for me to leave, and the fact that I wasn't going to break him out of the hospital, he was going to start getting dysregulated. But I knew that that was not my anger. That had nothing to do with me. It's not my responsibility to break him out of the hospital and potentially put that on me. Like, I don't have to put that on myself. But my dad's anger is completely valid. Is it misdirected? Absolutely. Is the anger at himself, at the way that he's treated himself all these years, and now he's in this situation? Absolutely. But does he have the ability to hold himself accountable? I guess not. Do I have to feel the burden of that anymore because he is angry? No, I don't have to anymore. I've made a decision to not feel to not hold on. Yep, I've made a decision to not take on my dad's emotions anymore because I recognize they're not mine. But I also don't have to invalidate his emotions. So when things started getting tense now, okay, I spent the 2 hours. All right, Dad, I love you so much. I know that you're angry. I will be back soon to be here with you. And I know that it's hard for you to be by yourself and deal with this, but I'm just letting you know that I'm going to call you. I'm going to check in with you, and I will be back soon. And he was saying the stuff, laying it on, the guilt trip. I can't believe you're leaving me here. And I said, I know that it's really hard, and it's hard to understand why I'm not bringing you home, but I hope in the long run, as you start to get better, you'll see why I'm not taking you home right now, so that you have a better chance at longevity when you actually are ready to get home. And it's explaining it like that. And what is that really familiar? It's familiar with parenting. It's familiar with parenting. So what I'm trying to show you guys is I'm helping my dad regulate through having the conversations. I'm explaining why I can't do what he wants me to do, the same way a toddler needs that explanation. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me assuming that my dad should just know why I can't take him home, clearly he doesn't. Clearly he doesn't understand why I can't just take him home. Clearly he's having a really hard time coping with the truth of the reality is that he can't just walk and get up and go. If he could, he would, but he's not well enough to. And if I put myself in his position, I can see how that would make someone angry and frustrated, right? So instead of saying, you're being so angry and frustrated and making me feel guilty, I'm taking all that out and saying, of course, he doesn't know how to cope. No one taught him. My grandmother didn't sit down and have these conversations with him when he was a child. So it doesn't penetrate me the same way that it used to. My dad's guilt trips used to eat me alive, you guys. My dad being disappointed in me was the worst thing on the planet. Oh my gosh. The way that my dad used to be able to get under my skin by being like, I can't believe you wouldn't do that. It would make me lose sleep until the point where I would call him back the next day and be like, fine, I'll let you borrow the money, or whatever it was that I was trying to hold my boundaries, which was totally valid. As soon as the guilt trip and him saying certain things, he would do those tactics when I was younger, and I would wake up and say, you know what, Dad, I thought about it and I'm going to let you do it, even though in my heart I didn't want to do it, but I don't want my father making me feel guilty. But now I recognize you can't make me feel something that I don't feel within myself. You cannot make me feel something that I don't feel within myself. And me not taking you out of the hospital does not make me feel guilty. I don't feel guilty. So now those tactics that used to work on me in childhood, in my early 20s, they don't work on me anymore. And that's where the liberation is. He told me the last time I saw him, I can't believe you're letting me in here. I can't believe you're leaving your father in here and you're not helping me out of all those times and I've helped you. And he said all this stuff. And I was just like, I understand. To me leaving you in here while you can actually get better so that you can be sustained outside of here is me helping you. So this guilt trip is just your inability to cope with the fact that you know that you staying in here is the right thing for you to do right now. And I'm not going to tell you that because I know that's just going to piss you off. So I'm just going to agree with you. You're right. I am being a bad daughter. And then I'm going to drive home with a smile on my face because I'm really glad and proud of myself that I came and spent time with you. And I know that I'll be back. His anger and his resentment is not my anger and resentment anymore. I made it my problem for a very long time. His anger is his anger. It's misdirected, so I don't take it personal. You see how easy, you see how liberating that is? You see how liberating it is? If you're dealing with a partner that can't regulate their emotions and you're no longer gonna be that punching bag, and so you've decided to no longer bark back, right? You know how you used to be that person that would scream louder and get mad, and your person knew how to push your buttons, and by you screaming and getting loud, that made them feel regulated. Ooh, okay, someone's mirroring me back. But the moment that you stop mirroring back those big emotions, that person feels very out of control. That person starts to feel very small. That person starts to feel like their emotions don't have any impact on you anymore. So how are they going to control you? And that's the same thing that my dad is feeling right now. He is feeling like, oh my gosh, I have lost control. I have lost control of my daughter. She no longer is to my benefit because she has boundaries now. She no longer is going to abandon the things that she feels is right and wrong within herself for my comfort. I think that's what my dad is recognizing now, that I am my own person, which is exactly what he taught me to be. He always told me to think for myself. He just didn't want me to use those same principles when it came to him. And I understand how that can be really powerful, that can be really painful for him. When you're used to someone being under your control and feeling like you are dominant, and then when you don't feel like you have that control. I felt that with certain people. I have felt that with certain people, so I know how my dad feels. This is what I'm saying when people say, how can you forgive people? I have been that. I have been that person that knew that I had this control, and then when someone started to really see me and started to recognize and they started to call me out, I felt like, oh wow, I don't even want to be like around this person anymore because they're starting to see the truth of who I am. I've had these situations with people. So I know what it feels like for my father. It doesn't feel good. There's so much truth in just being able to call yourself out. There is so much liberation in just being able to say, I used to do that. That doesn't define who I am today. I used to be manipulative. I used to be disempowering. I used to try to bring people down and keep people at my level. Yeah. I used to lie and do all the things that I scold my partners for doing. I've done it. And now I'm getting to the point where no more. It's no more because I see how it feels, and there's no reason for it in my life right now. I'm at the point now where it's not as scary to just be myself versus more scary just to pretend to be someone else. I can no longer get upset if I'm pretending to be this representative and pretending to be okay with certain things, and then all of a sudden to switch up in the relationship 6 months later. Of course this person has a right to say, you switched up, this is not the person that I thought you were. Of course they have a right to say that, and it's true. And that's what it hurts you so much when people say that in relationships. But you turn it around instead of owning it and saying, wait, you know what? You're right. I was being a representative. You say, you don't love me for me. See, this is why you don't love me for me, and I'm willing to love you through your bad behavior, so why can't you love me through my bad behavior? Well, that's not their job, and that's your choice to love somebody if they're cheating on you, to continue to put up with that behavior. That is a choice that you're making, but why does that have to be the same decision that they have to make towards you just because you're doing it? So because you're putting up with toxic behavior, they need to put up with your toxic behavior as well? That's what you're saying? That is what you're saying without saying it, and if we decode what you're saying but not saying, that's what it sounds like. I'm willing to give you 100 chances to disrespect me. Why are you not willing to put up with 100 chances of me disrespecting you? That's what you're really saying. That's what you're really saying. So, yeah, if we were more honest in relationships, this is how the conversations would really go. I came into the relationship feeling really insecure about certain aspects of who I am, but I really crave and desperately want love. And subconsciously, I attracted someone who reminds me of my mother or my father or someone significant to my growing up, who is subconsciously going to reject these same parts of me. Because the truth is, I don't know how to receive someone who actually loved all of me, because there's parts of me that hate these parts of me as well. Hi, Dexter. There's a part of me that hates or is ashamed of these parts of me as well. So I attract someone who mirrors that. And so, yes, I do go into relationships shoving down and trying to be this perfect person. And then when the mask slips, I hope and pray that I already have you emotionally connected to the point where you won't abandon me, despite the bad behavior that you're starting to see now. But like the self-fulfilling prophecy that I am, you will end up abandoning me. You were always going to abandon me from the very beginning. And it's because I continue to abandon me. I don't allow people to really love the full parts of me because I don't love the full parts of me. So therefore, I don't show the full parts. I don't allow people to see these shortcomings and make a conscious choice to say, hey, you know what? I see that you do this and you do that, but I choose to be with you anyway, despite those things. No, I try to put on a mask. I try to carry on this charade, hoping that, like I said, they will fall in love with these other parts and they'll fall in love with it so much that they won't care about this other stuff. It's cute. It'll be cute. The good parts of me will overshadow these toxic parts. And then, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. These toxic parts of you are worthy of being integrated and understood and loved. And they will no longer be toxic once you actually sit with them. They're only toxic because they're unresolved. They're only toxic because they have not been reconciled. They're only toxic because they haven't been shown any attention. So, where do you still need to show parts of yourself attention? Where do you want your partner to love the parts of you that you're not willing to love? Let's see. Let's pull from the book. Okay, let's see what we need. I'm going to stop on a random page. Left. Okay. All right. Page 78. Yep. You've always been this sensitive. You've just been numb and disconnected from your body as a way to survive what you've been through. Let me read that again. Yep. You've always been this sensitive. You've just been numb and disconnected from your body as a way to survive what you've been through. Page 78. I love the validation. Okay? And if you're wondering, I'm reading from my new book, Uncomfortable Truths. It is now available on Amazon. I will be setting up my TikTok shop in the next week here, like in the next couple days. I should be getting some copies of both in the mail. I wanted it to be in tandem with 1010 and come out on the date and all the things, but the hurricane had other plans. I am from Tampa, if you're wondering. So yes, I just got my power back on, Wi-Fi, all the things, and we're doing it. It may not have happened on the day, but we're going to be promoting this book. I had to sit with myself. I'm like, Chris, this book is going to be making sales 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years. People are going to be buying this book. Okay? So just because it doesn't come out on 1010, that don't mean nothing. All right? What energy are you still having behind this book? What energy do you still have around it? How are you able to adapt and pivot? How are you able to focus on, the silver lining? It's still out. It's available. You can click the link in my bio and get the book. Soon it'll be available on TikTok Shop. I'm going to be signing the copies as they come in and sending them out, and I'm so excited. Yeah, look at you closing some cycles and living that. Yeah, Allie, I'm done. For real. I really am. I'm done. Like, I just got to the point where I'm like, wow, there is so much adversity. Like, I realize, like, life is always going to keep happening. I feel like as soon as I get to a point where I'm like, woo, I'm having a perfect week, something happens, something whatever. So I'm like, you know what? Something's always going to happen. I just have to learn how to cope and manage this stuff better, So, I'm recognizing something's always going to happen, but let me keep going to the gym. Let me keep getting my meditations in. Let me keep doing my breath work. Let me keep eating healthy, because I know that these things... Hi, Ash. It's so good to see you. So good to see you, babe. I missed you too, and I love seeing you connect and frolic and learn and live and just do all the things. I see that. I know I saw that. I appreciate you so much. But yeah, you just gotta do your things. You gotta do your thing, and this book, writing this book and really stepping in my music, all the things that I've done, this is the relationship. This is the void that I thought other people was going to fill. Me writing this book and really focusing on my creativity felt so nourishing. It felt so satisfying. It felt so satiating. I didn't miss out on anything. I was completely like celibate writing the book. I just focused the energy. Are you going to sign the Amazon? No, the Amazon ones will just come straight from there. The TikTok ones will be the ones that will be signed because that was the only way I knew how to do it. So I had to order them from Amazon first. Then once they get from Amazon, then I'm going to sign them and then I'm going to mail them out. So I'm really excited. So TikTok. But yeah, like your perspective. This whole week I was like, oh, I could be bummed that I didn't feel in the space and I didn't have the Wi-Fi and the power to post and all these things, or I could use this time to rest, recharge, recognize what I've been through, all the stuff leading up to launching a book, my dad getting sick, the hurricane. I could use this as a time to rest and recharge for what's to come. You see that? I could say, oh, I didn't get to do my book the first week, so it's a flop. Or I could say, I'm resting and recharging because it's about to get wild. It's about to get so busy. All I'm going to be doing is just packing orders. Maybe that's it. Maybe the rest of October and November and December, all I'm going to be doing is literally ordering in shipment and passing out books because it gets so crazy on TikTok Shop that all I have time to do is pack orders all day. Now that it's out and I'm ready. Maybe that was my resting. Maybe last week was me resting and recharging because, babe, I'm about to be busy for the next 4 months, 5 months, 6, who knows? Okay? It's all in your perspective. It came out exactly when it was supposed to. Now I'm ready to just push it. And it makes sense because next week I have my last coaching session with Emerge. My book is out. So now I just get to focus on my dad, my family, and just marketing and pushing and packing the book for the rest of the year until my next coaching container in January. It actually aligns perfectly if you think about it. Because I'm going to be so busy that I'm going to be packing orders from sun up to sundown. You see how I'm manifesting that for me? I needed the rest. Perspective is key, guys. Mindset is key. This did not break me. I'm successful. It's out. How long have I been talking about this? It's out. You can literally click the link and get the book. It's out. Now I just keep marketing and I keep finding creative ways to get my message out and to sell my product and live abundantly. Now it's time to start living. Now it's time for me to trust in the universe like I said I did, where the universe said, you just get the book, you just get the book out, you just do your part and let us do the rest. Okay, spirit guides, okay, I feel you. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust. Hi, William, I see you. And that's what I'm going to do. So, where are you needing more attention on these things that you're wanting to create in your life? Where is your breakthrough point where you're like, this job is enough is enough. I'm tired of going to job. I'm tired of doing the jobs that are not meaningful. I'm tired of doing things that are not like that I don't want to do. Here it is. What is it for you? Is it a book? Is it your music? Is it coaching? What is it? Is it content creating? What is it? Because I'm telling you, if it's coming from your heart, the consistency, the dedication will be there. If it's coming from your heart. So, should we pull a few cards? should we pull a few cards? Let's pull some collectively. I'm kind of getting back on my routine. I recognize that like when I get these big breaks in my routine, when I'm in a flow and it gets disrupted, I get a little dysregulated. It takes me a little bit to get back in the flow of things. I don't know if that's like my ADHD or autism or what, but sometimes it's really hard for me to get back in the flow of things mentally. But I'm getting there. Hi. You just finished for yourself, Allie. Yay. Oh, new life. New life. Very, very fitting. This is for me. For me. New life, rebirth is on the horizon. Okay? So the Divine Mother. So the Divine Mother is how we see ourselves. Our relationship with our mother, the way that our mother saw herself, deeply impacts the way that we show up and the way that we see ourselves. So if we didn't see our mother being loved, if we didn't see our mother loving herself and really pouring into herself, if we didn't see our mother going for her dreams and aspirations, we can find it sometimes hard for us to do the same thing within ourselves. But it's time for us to go through this rebirth now. And it's time for us to be the mother that we needed growing up. So where can you find more love and support and grace and compassion for yourself now? Where can you find more encouragement? Where can you speak more life into the things that you want to do instead of shutting yourself down because it sounds stupid or it sounds too far-fetched or it sounds too, oh, that's too much. No, you're not too much. Where can you allow yourself to say, go for it? When you have this wild, imaginative idea like you did when you were a little person, when you were a little child, and your mother shut you down, where can you say, oh my gosh, that is amazing, let's go for it with yourself? Hi, Carly. So your new life is being reborn, and so I want you to see yourself as that fresh child again with new eyes, seeing this new chapter through new eyes, seeing it through hope and possibility now. Seeing it through love and like all the capability that you were not able to see it in before. So this. Me writing this book was me seeing myself through empowered eyes. No, I can do this. Why can't I? I can sit down and put some words on a page and I can edit it. What are you talking about? I can't write a book. What do you mean? Yes, I can. I can put words down on a page and I can organize it. I'm good at doing that, actually. Hi, Anna. Yes, I can. It's like you're still living by the paradigm of maybe what your mom felt about herself. Even if your mom didn't say you can't do it, the fact that you picked up on the energy, you were so intuitive, she didn't have to say it. A lot of you guys were so telepathic with your mom, you didn't even recognize that you were absorbing so much of her energy, whether it was negative or positive. Remember, and like I said, there is no negative and positive. There's opportunities to learn. But whether it was a high frequency or a low frequency, you're now learning. Just like I was learning how much energy I took in from my dad. Wow, that low vibrational energy really did keep me stagnant and stuck. It really did keep me in a disempowered state. The guilt trip of my dad trickled into all the relationships to where I would hear my partners guilting me, even if they weren't guilting me. I already heard it, and so how can I avoid this? By abandoning parts of myself so that I don't have to hear this guilt trip. I would already project the guilt trip from my partners onto myself. I already know what you guys are going to think of me, because every time I tried to honor myself in the past with my dad, this is what he would say. So let me just get ahead of it. I already know you're going to think I'm a shitty person. I already know that you're going to think I'm selfish. I already know that you're going to hate me. I already know that you're not going to talk to me. And so this is the projection that we put onto other people, and why we stay stuck in this turmoil inside, because we, in our head, we already know what's going to happen based on how many times it's happened in childhood. But we don't give our partners the benefit of a doubt to show up differently, or we don't recognize that we are not deserving of that. So if you do show up like that, I'm going to walk away. I'm not deserving of that. No, but we have the mindset that this is what I'm deserving of, so let me just shut up anyway, because I already know that they're going to shut me down. My feelings don't matter. The same way that dad sent me the message in childhood that my feelings didn't matter, even though he didn't physically say, your feelings don't matter. The way that he would show up every time I tried to express my feelings gave me the idea the internalization that my feelings didn't matter. It's the messaging that we received based on how our parents showed up. And so we internalize that. So when it comes time for us to speak our truth again, we have these fears and this anxiety that the same thing is going to happen. This person is no longer going to talk to me anymore if I'm honest about my feelings. And so now you throw in your fear of abandonment and you can see every reason why you would shut up. Because your fear of being abandoned by someone outside of you is bigger than the fear of abandoning yourself. You'd rather take in all the pain because you know what you can handle and carry than to put it on someone else because maybe they can't carry it as much and maybe they'll abandon you. So let me try to get around all of that by carrying everything myself to make sure that this person is happy so that they don't leave. Or so that they don't feel abandoned by me. Because I don't want to make somebody feel how my dad made me feel. I don't want to make somebody feel how my mom made me feel. Not recognizing that you honoring yourself is not making someone feel any type of way. That if someone feels abandoned by you being true to yourself, that is something that they also have to sit with. They also are carrying abandonment wounds if someone else's decisions make them feel like they are not enough. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to save them from feeling something that they need to feel because they need to feel that in order to sit with why they feel this way in the first place. So ultimately, you're trying to save them from feeling some low vibrational feeling when really you're just stopping them from learning an actual lesson from within themselves. You're robbing them from an opportunity to learn because you're trying to keep them from feeling something negative. When I told you there is no negative and positive, there's only opportunities to learn. But how people see that is totally up to them. Because someone can take that lesson and instead of seeing it as an opportunity to learn, they can completely be self-deprecating and say, this is why I'm gonna be alone forever because see, no one ever chooses me. And see, this is why no one ever chooses me. And and I do all these things so that people will choose me and the same thing happens. They don't. Well, it's because you're continuing to not choose yourself. So therefore you're mirroring the energy of people not choosing you because you're not choosing yourself. It's an energy that you're putting out. All right, so 3 cards came out. Woo, really potent cards. 3 cards came out. Risk, family, and intuition. They came out in this order. So, risk, family, and intuition. Inner child. All right. So your joy is being held back from the risk that you refuse to take. Okay. A lot of you want more joy in your life. A lot of you right now are literally wishing to be on a new timeline. You spend so much time daydreaming about being in that jungle, being in that beautiful property, running barefoot through the jungle, picking mangoes off the tree, having very minimal expenses, doing what you love, uplifting your community, being able to work from wherever you want in the world from your laptop, being able to create money and build a life however you see fit. I know that I'm speaking to a lot of your souls right now. Okay? But the risk of going for that is still a little bit greater than your desire to actually take action. Right? Because you know what you want and you know that where you're currently at is not what you want. And so where does the risk become not a risk but the only option? Is what I'm trying to say. You've taken plan B, right? You've done plan B. You've gotten married and you've done the thing that you thought everybody was supposed to do. You did the job and you did the thing and you were a good person and you didn't speak up. You did all the things that you thought we're going to make you happy, and you recognize that you've really just been complacent, you've really just been dimming your light, and you've really been attracting people that could not handle your frequency. And so you've been lowering your frequency, you've been staying on a low frequency in order to gain some sense of love and attention from people, from the wrong people, because you don't have to minimize yourself, and you don't have to shrink yourself, and you don't have to water yourself down to get attention. That's getting attention from the wrong people. The right people that you need to get attention from is from you being yourself, and people that are not intimidated by that. The people that are like, damn, I see your light, I see you shining, and like, wow, woo, I'm inspired by your light. I just want to be a part of it. How do I be a part of this shit? That's the type of people, not the relationship with someone who's intimidated by you, so they're competing with you. Okay? So your joy is on the other side of the risk that you're refusing to take because you're scared of the lack of control that this risk is going to put you in. One of your biggest shadows is control. Whoever I'm speaking to right now, one of your biggest shadows is your control. Your need to control the outcome of situations keeps you stuck in situations that are not serving you. And it also keeps you from doing the thing because your fear of the unknown is so big that you'd rather do nothing at all because you know what's going to happen when you do nothing. Nothing. So it makes you feel safe. But now you're getting to the point where you're recognizing that year after year, month after month, minute after minute is going by. And why would you spend another minute, another second, not focused on creating the life that you truly desire and not settling for the shit that you're in right now? Why would you spend another moment entertaining something that you know at your core is not serving you so that you can make the space for what is? If you know that you're not in alignment, why would you spend another moment? Because you're scared of how it's going to feel when you walk away, because you're scared of how it's going to impact somebody, because you're scared of feeling. Your risk is on the other side of being scared to feel. Yes. Some people are going to be disappointed with the decisions that you make. Yes. Yes. Some people are going to be let down. Yes. But who is going to be more let down than yourself when you're over here doing things to appease other people? And is that what you really want? You want people to be with you because they just don't want to hurt your feelings? You want people to choose you because they feel bad choosing themselves? You want people to be with you because they feel bad for you? Or do you want someone to really choose you because they're choosing you? Or do you want someone to really be in the job because they want to be in this job and do the job? The choice is yours. And I'm here to tell you that it's more of a risk to do nothing at this point, and you know it. Hey, Cass, it is more of a risk to do nothing, and you know it. This is why you're here, and this is why you're on this live trying to gain this motivation and inspiration to step in, and you seeing me live it is giving you the encouragement that you need. You seeing me do it, me sharing you these things with you is inspiring. I know it. This is what I'm saying. I'm already successful, not because of how many sales that I have and what the reviews say on Amazon. I'm successful because I've already done. I'm successful because I've done the things that I've wanted to do, that I'm following my heart. And when you do the things that you are meant to do, the success is in that. The sales and the way that I'm going to be able to live as a result of me following my heart is just an added bonus. It's my birthright because what I'm doing is being of service to humanity. So it's just a common energetic exchange for what I'm doing. It makes sense. This book is helping people live abundantly. Therefore, this book will also help me live abundantly. That makes sense. This book is going to help a lot of people set themselves free from their own prison. So therefore, this book is going to set me free from whatever financial prisons I was in because I didn't feel deserving and worthy of being out of them. So the risk of whatever judgment or rejection or abandonment will come from me putting this book out is worth it. Because I don't need everyone or anyone's approval to be successful. I'm successful because I decided that I'm successful. And then because I decided I'm successful, I said, well, what would the actions of someone who's successful look like? Since I've already made up my mind that I'm successful, how do I actually reflect that in my life? Well, it's by actually doing the things, by saying I'm going to write a book and saying, you know what, do it. I'm going to do it. Fuck the fear. Fuck the judgment. I say what I do what I say I'm going to do. Because how would that make me any different from the people who I've said have let me down my whole life if I continue to do the same shit to myself? What makes me any different? If I don't hold myself accountable, if I don't do the things that I say, if I don't get serious. I feel so emotional right now because I feel someone is feeling emotional. It's not me. Someone's about to cry right now. Someone's crying. Who is it? Who's crying right now? Is it you, Rach? whose eyes are welling up? It's your birthday. It is your birthday. It is your solar return. It is day 1. You get to make a decision. You literally get to make a decision on how you are going to show up these next 365 days. Are you going to be here next year saying the same thing? Or are you going to be here celebrating because you knew that this risk was not a risk? It was the only option. Plan B got us to this point. Plan B got us to this point, but Plan A was always it. And Plan A is where we follow our heart, regardless of how scary it is, or regardless of the projection of what it's going to be like. I'll find out on my own. I went through my own adversities on my own when it came to doing the book. I don't need someone else telling me how hard it is to do it. I don't need somebody telling me this and that and this and that. I'm going to find out on my own. And I did. And it's out. And it's over. And I've learned already for the next one. I'm already working on the next one. Let's go. I love doing it. It comes effortlessly. It's easy. So why am I not focusing on the things that come naturally to me and then doing things that don't come naturally because it's not as scary? It's because I didn't believe that the things that came naturally to me were worth being monetized. I didn't believe that I could actually live a life doing what I love. So the risk is going to be the new life. The risk that you are scared to take is ultimately what's holding you back from the new life that you are desiring so deeply. Your family and the dynamics and the principles that you have learned from those before you, there's some things that need to be revamped. Okay? Some of you are living on the principles that are meant to keep you stuck. And you're wondering why you can't move forward. And it's because you are still having a hard time really following your own intuition, because you've been so conditioned to listen to other people outside of you who are not even doing what you want to do, by the way. You're listening to people who are not even attempting, who don't even have the courage right now or the skill set to do what it is that you want to do, but you're steady listening to the advice of people who are not doing what it is. Or when you get the advice from people that are doing what you want to do, you still don't take action. And so these family dynamics are the reason why you're not still taking action. There's a reason why you can be given the answers. Here it is. This is what you need to do. And you still don't do it. You'd rather do everything but. And that's because you've been conditioned to believe in everything and everyone outside of yourself instead of your intuition, your own inner child. And your own inner child and those ideas and your imagination and the ways that you used to think so vividly and dream so vividly, that is what is trying to come back online right now. Those big ideas that you think about, when are they actually going to become things? How long are you just going to talk about it? I came home from Philly in July, and I was like, you know what? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of complaining about this and the money and all the different things. I'm so tired of talking about this and seeing. Let me just see what happens. How will I ever know what can happen if I don't do this shit? All right, so I need to sit down. I need to stop being on the phone all day long. I need to tell my friends, "Hey, I can't talk today." I need to literally sit with this shit. What am I doing? I can be out and I can be out in the streets and I can be out at the dinners and I can do all these things later. But I'm sick and tired of going to dinner and then getting stressed out when the bill comes because I feel like I'm spending so much money and I'm not having things coming in. What am I doing so I'm not in these positions? I deserve to go out with dinner with no worries. I deserve to go out to dinner and slide my card and not have to worry about shit, but I got to create the foundation for me to do so. I got to stop playing around. I got to stop complaining about it, and I got to start creating it. I got to look at what these family beliefs and dynamics are. Like, what is it that I'm still carrying that's holding me back? And why am I not following my intuition? Because I know damn well this book is going to set me free in so many ways. Is it the freedom that I'm scared of? Is it the responsibility of doing what I say I'm going to do once all this money comes in, when it comes to the nonprofits and building these big visions? Is it the fear of success? Maybe. Because now, what am I going to do? Sometimes we dream so vividly and out loud, and it's so easy because we don't think that we'll ever really achieve it. So it's safe. But once we start seeing the shit come into fruition, we're like, oh wait, I actually have to follow through on the shit that I said I was going to do. So sometimes a lot of us like to just stay in a disempowered state. We like to stay in that state where we're doing it, but we're never really doing it, because then the accountability is going to get real, where people are going to say, okay, what about this nonprofit? And what about the retreats? And what about the houses and the things that you said? What about the stuff? Are you ready? It's a responsibility. Some of these manifestations that we're calling in is not just all fun and just, no, it's responsibility. It's integrity. It's how are you going to be any different than the people who are greedy on this earth, who also had these manifestations come in and decided to just take more for themselves? Are you really going to step in and allow other people to have a piece of the pie? Are you really going to be this person that you say you're going to be? If I had the money, I would do this. And if I had the fame, I would do this. And if I had the platform, I would speak this. Really? Okay. We'll see. Because we all know how much easier it is to talk about shit than it is to really do it. Yes, I love that, Allie. I agree. It's a blessing and a responsibility. I agree. My gifts are a blessing and a responsibility. I really love that. It's great because I know that I can call in. I know that I can create. I know what I'm capable of. So therefore, I never have to live in a state of lack anymore. So that's a real big blessing to know what you're capable of. But it's also a responsibility of what you do with these gifts and how you show up, your integrity, your word. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Are you really helping the people? Are you really for the people? Or are you still just continuously for yourself? These are the responsibilities that a lot of us are met with when we start to reach these levels, and you see how fame and how money really can change people if you let it. And how people can switch up if you let it. So when you know that you're headed for a level of visibility and influence, even if you're not even trying, it's just what you are destined to be. It comes with a level of integrity, perseverance, and truth. And this is why I know that I've had to be humbled and broken down and all the things that I've gone through before getting to this place so that I don't forget. And also seeing what's happening with Hollywood right before my eyes is letting me know that it's not worth nothing. No dollar amount is not worth any part of my soul. I'm sorry. I'd rather stay struggling, doing things in the light than pretending to have it all together in the dark. I'll pay the price in the struggle, and then I'll be able to live out my abundance in peace, knowing that no one's blood is on my hands. So it's just the way that I'm choosing. Okay. So if you're interested in the book and the journal, the link is in the bio. You can get it from Amazon. A book for breakthroughs, a journal for breakthroughs. If you are ready to step in and create your own abundance, yeah, I'm really excited for your guys' feedback. Once you get the book and you actually have had some chance to read it and journal, please leave me a review. That's one of the best things that you can do right now, is leaving me a review on Amazon right now. I will have it available on TikTok Shop soon, so that you can leave a review there on the videos. But for now, those of you that have gotten it through Amazon, after you've taken a chance to look at it, please leave me a review. And I'm excited to hear what you think. I'm excited for the breakthroughs. I'm excited for all of it. I'm doing it because I want all of us to thrive. I want all of us to wake up to our truth. And because I've experienced this, thank you, because I've experienced this, I know how limited we are with these blind spots. These spots about ourselves, these things about ourselves that we can't see that are holding ourselves back. I know. And I just want to help with that. So super excited. I did what I said I was going to do. I feel like I just need to rest now and just make this content and have fun with this and find really creative ways. Those of you that want to sell the book on TikTok Shop, I will be sending you guys out your copy soon, that if you're eligible and you want to be a part of this movement, because it's definitely going to be a movement and I'm going to need a lot of help. And so once everything gets up and running and I have the capital, I'm just going to be investing 1,000 books, 1,000 books, 1,000 books. And we're just going to make this thing viral. It already is going viral. And I'm super excited. So intuition, family, risk, new life, you guys. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, me too, Allie. I'm excited. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to share this. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to share. You guys will get commission. And that's why I know it's my time. It's ready. I've really put my heart and soul into this. And it's successful, period. If you want to be a part of the success, let me know. Once I get it loaded onto the TikTok Shop and everything, then you'll be able to request your copy. And then you have 14 days to make your content. And I mean, you can make as many videos as you want. Obviously, your commission is your commission. So however many units you sell, that's how much you make. So the card that came out, which is very fitting right now, is love. I have been feeling the love energy a lot lately right now, being open to receiving it, being open to calling it in all forms, okay? So love is something that a lot of us are finally really feeling open to in your life in a way, and it's because of the ways that you're loving yourself. I would not feel open to this energy if I did not love myself. And one of the biggest acts of self-love is following your heart. And my heart told me to write these books and to do this journal. And this is why I'm feeling such just a lovey mood. And also my heart told me to be there for my dad. My heart told me to show up and just do these things. And so like I said, even though there's so much stuff happening in my life that you would think would be like, oh my gosh, it's scary, and it has been. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've had zero low vibrational feelings. But the way that I'm choosing to meet this stuff matters. And I just didn't have any idea how much that we can choose to meet ourselves and other people and situations with love and trust. And so I have felt so much love in my life recently, just inside. It's not that I have all this love, people coming in saying, Kristen, I love you. Kristen, I'm coming to you. And like, it hasn't been like that extreme, but like I have had a lot of people saying, I love your hair. I love this. I felt a lot of love through like just strangers and just people being like, I love your outfit. I love your hair. And it's just like, it's really reflecting how I feel within myself. I am so proud of myself. I feel so much love. I feel so proud on how I'm helping my dad and how I'm showing up. I feel so much love and pride in how I am, writing this book and showing up for something. I feel so much love in how I'm speaking my truth these days and choosing myself. I feel so much love in how I'm able to be honest and be real with my friends, my friendships, and say, hey, I need a lot more time to myself. I really needed to isolate for myself and just not feeling bad about that. And so love is really in the air. A lot of love is coming in. Like I said, we have a full moon in Aries tomorrow. A lot of the energy is coming in. And so whatever's been blocking you from really feeling that love, even if you're already in a relationship, even if you're already in a relationship right now, there's still blocks that have been keeping you from really going deeper with your partner. And so whatever that is being revealed in this full moon right now. So if you've been feeling like on edge in your relationship, if you've been feeling like some things have been highlighted within yourself, or if you're single and you've been feeling more open and feeling more like excited and capable of being in a healthy relationship for once, not the toxic ones, but a healthy one, all of that is being made available to you. It's being highlighted, the things that you've needed to sit with, the things that have been really blocking you from being in that true love energy within yourself, within partners, within friends, within strangers, within absolute. Love is all around you. And you're starting to see that more than ever now. The more that you feel it within yourself. There's been rough emotionally in all my yeah, Allie, I feel you. What else is going on in the collective? What else? Ooh, okay. Peace. Peace has been another thing that has been coming up in the collective, where a lot of you have just been wanting to feel that internal peace. You've been wanting to feel that internal peace within yourself, and you recognize that having the resentment towards certain people, having the anger, not really fully being able to trust, that is taken away from your peace. So where are you still not being honest? Where do you still not trust in your relationships? Where are you still not trusting in yourself? Where are you still lying to yourself? Where are you still showing up anxiety instead of showing up with confidence when you recognize that that's a choice as well? Where are you still robbing yourself of your peace by the truth that you refuse to acknowledge? A lot of us rob ourselves of our peace from the truth that we refuse to acknowledge. I can tell you that in my last relationships, the truth that I refused to acknowledge robbed me of so much peace, because I was unwilling to acknowledge that this was not compatible. I was unwilling to acknowledge that I knew my partner was cheating, because I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe that this person who made me feel so high at once was also the person that was making me feel so low. I didn't want to believe that this person that I put on a pedestal was capable of doing these things. And so it robbed me of my peace to not be honest with myself. So I would rather live in this false reality because of what I'm choosing to believe. And you guys know, one of my favorite quotes is, your reality is a culmination of what you believe. So if you're not happy with your reality, that must mean that we need to change some beliefs. Period. So we have love and peace. What's the next one? Love and peace. What's the next one that's going to complete this? I'm pulling 3 cards from this. All right. What is the last one? Love, peace, and balance. That's very fitting. I love it. This is very uplifting, this deck. Love, peace, and balance. So we will find more love and peace in our life by having more balance. We are recognizing as a collective that these extreme ways of thinking no longer resonate with us. The pendulum that we were on, where we were so far extreme one way, and then once we wake up and realize, oh my God, I've been so far extreme one way. Then we go so far extreme to protect ourselves and course correct. We go so far extreme on the other way, and now a lot of us are coming into balance. Oh, I don't have to never eat sugar, and it's not good to always eat sugar. I just need to have balance in my life on how I eat sugar. It's not good to never exercise. It's not good to always be exercising. Oh, I just need to have more balance and movement. Balance is something that the collective is really searching for right now. Okay? Having your human experience and also having your spiritual experience. Knowing, okay, I know that doing this, and this is a way that I used to cope, but I trust in myself now to be able to do the same thing that used to be a maladaptive way of coping as something that I enjoy, one off. I've gotten to a point where I have felt the feelings to where I no longer need to cope. So now I have found more balance. I can just have this one thing and it really doesn't have to mean nothing. I can just do it because I enjoy it and it's a human pleasure that I'm still continuing to experience. And I don't have to explain that to anybody. I know what I can handle and what I can't handle. You see? Balance. All right? So love, peace, balance. Take the risk. Your new life is on the other side of taking the risk, and your intuition and your inner child over the paradigms of your family. Yeah? Your own intuition over what you've been told. All right, let's pull from this deck. What else do we need to know in the collective? What else are we working on? What else do we need to know? Oh, it feels so good. This is why I'm just doing it. I know I usually do like the readings and the pick of cards, but right now I'm just getting back in the flow of things, and just doing this collective just feels really good. I'll start doing the pick a card and all that stuff Friday, maybe Friday. Okay, let's see what's coming out. You guys, love came out again. Love came out again. I told you. Venus, love, energy. It is coming. It's on the horizon. It's here. Those of you that have really been putting in the work to embody the self-love, you know that puts you in the frequency of receiving love outside of you, okay? The love that you are actually desiring, that you deserve. So just know, like I said, if you are already in a relationship that you are in alignment with and you guys are going through a rebirth, a death and rebirth, because your relationships will go through many death cycles and rebirth cycles, you are at an opportunity to really have some honeymoon energy again. Okay, you are in an energy to really have some of that honeymoon spark, like honeymoon energy. And it's because of the ways that you have deeply loved yourself more, and you have the capacity to see and love your partner in a way. 111, let's go. You have the capacity to love your partner in a different way now because of the ways that you love yourself. So just know, if you've always been that person where love has been hard, love has been painful, love has been always the thing that you couldn't get right, you are about to be blasted, okay? You're about to be blasted with so much love because of the work that you've done within yourself. So love is on the horizon. You already feel it within yourself. So now it is your turn to finally be mirrored the love externally. You have done so much work on elevating your frequency that you have no choice but to finally meet somebody who is also in an elevated frequency. How beautiful is that? That knowing, that inner knowing. It's not a matter of if I'm going to meet somebody. It's just when. And because you're spending so much time now, pouring into your own passions, pouring into your own love. You're welcome, Sparkle. That now you're not sitting here counting, watching paint dry, waiting for the relationship to change or waiting for the love to come in, because you're so grounded in your own love. You see what I'm saying? You're not sitting here waiting every day, waiting every single day. No, you pour so much love into yourself that, like, when you least expect it, hello. So the next card that came out is self and identity in the first house. You have done so much work on yourself and identity. You have done so much work on you getting to choose who you are instead of your mom and your dad projecting who you are. You have released those projections. You have let go of the judgment, and you have redefined who you are on your own. So therefore, someone's judgment of your clothes, someone's judgment of your hair, someone's judgment of how you live your life and what you choose to do doesn't mean anything, because you have redefined who you are. And you're okay with that because you're redefining someone that you love. You're redefining someone that you're proud of. You're redefining someone that you are supportive of, that you are encouraging of. And I love that. So lots of love, self-love, external love, love coming in, romantic love, platonic love. Love is in the air. Okay? Love is in the air. As they say, we are approaching cuffing season. And a lot of you have had this stigma within yourself where you're like, I never have anybody in cuffing season. I'm always by myself. That's coming to an end, and you know it because now you're finally ready to receive the love that you've always deserved. It's always been you. The reason why you've been alone in cuffing season is because you did not feel deserving. Do you see what I'm talking about? So now that you've decided and you've done the work and you feel deserving, that universe is going to attract that back into you. And it's just going to be your choice to say, okay, I choose this. That's going to be mirrored back to you. You're going to have so many different options. It's just going to be what is the best choice for you. Because guess what? You are the chooser now. You've always been the chooser, but now you recognize that you're the chooser now. You're no longer in a position where you're walking around hoping to be chosen by someone else. You are the chooser. And this is where love becomes exciting and not scary. Okay? Let's see. What deck are we going to end with today? What deck are we going to end with today? Let's pull... Gosh. Okay. Let's pick one more. Let's pick one more for the collective. Let's pick one more for the collective. Who am I connecting with specifically right now? All right, someone in the north. So it's someone probably in the northern hemisphere. And then who lives in the north of the northern hemisphere? So Spirit Keeper of the North and Flowing River. So I may be connecting with a water sign, someone who lives close to the water, and then someone who lives in the northern hemisphere in the north. Okay? Northern hemisphere in the north. Okay, Ashley, Allie, I see you. Laura, I see you. Okay, so these are the two cards that we got. Let's read these. We also have that full moon coming up, and we're also getting into the state of fall, winter. We're coming into this. So let's see. Yep. Northern hemisphere, north, living in the north, and then living by a river, flowing, water sign, beach, water. All right. This is for you. Let me see the book. Let's read Flowing River first. All right. Flowing River. Everything is falling into place because you aren't resisting the drift of the great river of life. It's time to let go. You're entering a period of gracious ease and flow. All is unfolding perfectly and with good timing. When you're in a state of flow, you aren't pushing the river to go faster and you aren't swimming against it. Let go of the shore and enjoy the ride. Rivers have personalities that carry energy, just as animals and plants do. From the Maoris to the Australian Aborigines to other native cultures throughout the world, it is believed that it is important to listen to the language of the river. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're trying to control situations, that you're being critical, you're being self-critical or judgmental. Did we not talk about this? You're trying to control the situation. Okay? And this is what's making it feel very choppy. Ride the currents. Ride it. Even the things that are not working out, ride it. When you try to fight against the current, you get tired and you end up drowning. Okay? So, if you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're trying to control situations or that you're being self-critical or judgmental. The way to move into flow is through gratitude and appreciation and by allowing others to support and help you. Heed the Native American saying, it's best to ride the horse the direction that it's going. This means that when the card Flowing River chooses you, it's best you're being told to let go and go with the flow. If there's something or someone that you need to forgive, this is the time. This is also time to forgive yourself and just let go. You guys, I can't flow that around more than we literally started out with, where do you need to forgive yourself? Where do you need to forgive yourself? Someone on Instagram asked, how do you forgive people who've hurt you? And the answer is, where do you still need to forgive yourself? Wow, I love that. All right, the next card, Spirit Keeper of the North. Spirit Keeper of the North. So let's see. Spirit Keeper of the North. Let's see who this is. Take time for contemplation. Turn within. Connect with your ancestors. Incubate ideas. Mend relationships. Watch your dreams. Meditate. The answers are inside you, waiting to be heard. Stay warm. Create dreams for your future. Repair whatever is broken in your home and your life. Forgive those people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. In the medicine wheel, the north is the direction that symbolizes the darkest time of the night, the coldest part of winter, the dark of the moon. It also represents the elder time of life and even time of endings. Pulling the Spirit Keeper of the North indicates that it's time to take measure of your life. Explore what's working and what's not working. What and whom do you need to release? It is also a time to make repairs in your physical environment, as well as make repairs to your body. Additionally, this is the time to begin to dream and make plans regarding your future. Your ancestors are close at this time, so call on them. They want to help you. Okay? It is time for you guys it's time to start actually embodying and living the life that you know you need to live. You have to take contemplation. Yes, 10-10, 11-11, let's go. It's time to contemplate what's working and what's not working in your life, and actually start making decisions in your best interest. It's no more ignorance is bliss and let me just do this and do that. If you want to level up and start changing, you have to be the change. And the frustration is coming from the fact that you know that it's you versus you, and that if you, the amount of effort and the amount of like the amount of effort and perseverance that you have in your dreams is the amount in which you succeed. And you're going as slow as fast as you want to. And there is a point in our journey where we make excuses for ourselves that are not excuses. It's valid. Okay, I'm giving myself grace. I need to do this. But then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, the grace is hindering us. Giving myself grace is just hindering me from really stepping in and doing what I need to do. At some point, we do have to put our head down and go full throttle. And then we can rest. And so now I'm at a point where I went the full throttle this year. I have gone full throttle this entire year. I'm exhausted. So now I'm just going to have fun putting this book out. I'm going to pack these orders up, and this is what I'm doing the rest of the year. I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I am going to do some other things that don't involve making money, that bring me joy. I'm going to do some things that just I'm passionate about, that just don't bring me money. Like the number one thing, as soon as this flow comes in and everything gets to a standstill, like where I'm able to just really, okay, the book is going, it's flowing. The first thing I'm going to do is learn how to DJ. I'm going to rent an Airbnb somewhere in Costa Rica. I'm going to bring I already have my controller with me, and I am going to teach myself how to DJ. I've been wanting to learn how to do this for long as I can remember. Yes, I can eventually make money from it. I know that I will, but I don't care about that right now. I just want to learn how to DJ. It's something I think about, I wake up about, I fantasize about, I see myself. I can't stop thinking about it. I need to do this. And so it's like this book and doing things are creating the space for me to just do things, because the way that I want to live my life is not all about hustling and making money. It's about just doing things that make me happy. And then it's just another skill that if I do need to make some money, I can. Isn't that beautiful? I want to learn how to DJ because it makes me happy. But then later on in life, if someone says, hey, Kristen, we want like a conscious DJ. We want someone to play some music that's really high vibe. I feel like you'd be perfect for it. What are your rates? Now I have a skill that I could do that I love. That's another thing that I love that I'm like, wow, I can't wait. I can't believe I can get paid for this. Okay. Yeah, for 2 hours, it's this. Because I deserve that. Isn't that dope? In the first year, more than 100 people will buy your book. Oh, I know, babe. Oh, Key, I've already had that in the first week. Key, I've already had that in the first week, babe. But I appreciate that. Okay, I like the dreams, but I've already hit that almost in the first week. So let's just keep going, okay? The first year? Yeah. All right. Okay, y'all. Well, I'm going to get ready. I have a coaching call in like 45 minutes, so I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to start creating the content. I'm getting back into the flow. A lot has happened, but I am resilient. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing the things because I don't know. I have this strength. God, the universe is definitely with me because I don't know how I have the strength to keep going with all the things that are happening in my life right now. But I love it. Okay. All right. I'm just going to take it. I don't know. It's just who I am. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you. Thank you so much for purchasing the book. The link is in the bio. It'll be up on TikTok Shop. The ones on TikTok Shop, I will be signing those ones. So if you want a signed copy, that will be up hopefully this weekend. I should be getting the first shipment in today. So I'm very excited about that. And then I just got to take the pictures and just finish setting up the seller shop. I don't know. I'm figuring out as I go, you guys. Literally as I go. And then those of you that have the requirements to sell and you want to earn some commission, hit me up through TikTok Shop and I will get a copy sent out to you and you can start earning some commission as well. All right, y'all. I love you and I will see you on Friday. I'll see you on Friday.